Did we read the book?
Yes.
Did we understand it?
Debatable. Welcome to Reading Between Wines,
where the books are questionable
the opinions are strong,
and the wine is absolutely necessary. I'm Cece.
And I'm Mariana, and today we have thoughts.
So many thoughts.
So pour yourself something strong.
You're gonna need it.
Let's uncork this week's read. And what are you drinking today?
Today we're drinking Syrah, a bold red wine known for its depth, rich flavors, and emotional intensity. It's powerful, a little wild, and it lingers, kind of like this book, Wolfsong by TJ Klune. This story follows Ox, a quiet, kind-hearted boy, it means so much to me, who grows up believing he's not worth much after being abandoned by his father. His life changes when the mysterious Bennett family moves in next door and they turn out to be, wait for it, werewolves. Ox forms a deep bond with youngest Bennett, Joe, and slowly becomes part of their pack. As they grow up, that bond turns into something deeper, something intense, emotional, and honestly unforgettable. Along the way, Ox learns about loyalty, identity, and what it really means to belong. But don't get it twisted. This isn't just cozy found family. There's danger, violence, and heartbreak. Loads of heartbreak. A tragedy tears the pack apart, separates Ox and Joe, and forces Ox to confront grief, anger, and his own strength. At its core, this book is about finding your place in this world, choosing your family, and loving someone through distance, pain, and change. And if you love books about found family, grief, healing, romance, loyalty, and learning how to keep going even when life hurts, read Wolfsong. What did you think this book was going to be before you started?
I don't know, because you were nagging me for a year to read this book. Literally nonstop. She's like, you have to read Wolfsong, you have to read Wolfsong, you have to read Wolfsong, it's so good. And it was just on my TBR for so long. And then we started the podcast, and of course she put it for one of the books. So I was like, okay, I guess now I have to read it. I thought it was going to be a soft paranormal romance about werewolves. There's a moon out and they go, woo, and howling. Cute wolf vibes. I don't know, because it's your book. What I got instead was emotional warfare, so many abandonment issues that you could just make a book just out of all of the abandonment issues. And me questioning every life choice by chapter 5. Why have I not picked you up before? Ooh. So what did you think this book was going to be before you had started it?
We all know where I got this idea from, TikTok. A little backstory here. I moved to France in August, right, of 2025. And by December, I went back home to Portugal to visit my family. And then when I came back, I was feeling very lonely, because I had just seen my family and I had missed them a lot. And it was, Christmas and New Year's, we're all together, and it was really fun and full of love and everything. So I came back here and I was feeling really lonely. And Heated Rivalry just came out, so there was a lot of hype with romances. I was scrolling through TikTok trying to find out a book to read, and there was a lot of romances. And there was this one girl, and I really can't remember who she was. She was talking about 5 to 6 books, and this one called out to me. I think that's so special because sometimes books choose you. She was talking about Wolfsong, and I was like, oh, you know what, that looks good. Then I went to Goodreads, I read the summary of the book, and I was like, yeah, okay, found family, let's go. And now it's literally one of my favorite books. I read it January this year, 2026, and I put it on Goodreads as my favorite book of the year. January. And it still stands as my favorite book of the year. Oh, I have a question here for you. One of the main characters is Joe, and I know that you have a problem with characters that have the same name as your brother. Were you still able to connect with Joe or no?
I was just referring to him as Joseph the whole time. Every time I saw Joe, I would just add the "sif" at the end. Although, it would be great if my brother had a gay awakening. I would love that, to be honest. I think we'd all connect with him better if he just...
Joe, try it. You can't deny it until you try it.
My motto for life is try everything once, and then you'll know.
If you had to pick one quote to summarize this book, what would it be?
So the quote I picked for this book was, "I wish I could take all the pain you feel, but I wouldn't, even if I could, because that pain shows that you're alive, that you're breathing, that you can take another step." This line from Thomas, who is Joseph's dad, hits especially hard when you look at Ox's entire life. Growing up, Ox is basically shaped by the emotional abandonment of his father, the constant message that he is nothing and that he's not worth staying for, and that people will continuously give him shit for the rest of his life. If that's the last memory you have of your father, that stays with you. It's not just part of the moment, it's like how Ox always sees himself. I think there's 4 books in the series, and through all 4 books, it's mentioned throughout the series. So it's something that he needs to learn to let go of, but it's very hard, and it shows you those kind of moments, even though the father, said something in passing and he didn't think. When Thomas said this, it wasn't just comforting, and I love that Thomas already thought of Ox as a son right away. It was the most beautiful thing. When he said this to Ox, it was just reframing everything that Ox had already been through. It shows that his pain isn't proof that he's broken. It's proof that he survived being left behind, that he kept going even when he was told he didn't matter. I think that's what makes it so powerful in the context of like the Bennett family. They don't ease Ox's pain. They acknowledge it, stand beside it, and show him that he can still build something meaningful despite it. So the pack, they don't fix him. They help him to see that he was never something that needed fixing in the first place. It turns Ox's biggest wound, his father leaving, into something that defines his strength instead of his worthlessness. Honestly, that is the emotional care of the entire book. If you had to pick one quote to summarize the book, what would it be?
I love this book, okay? I couldn't pick just one. To go back on what you said, I also have Joe says he's broken, and Ox says you're alive. If you can take another step, then you're not broken. Battered, maybe. Cracked, but never broken. I have Ox says this. The only things I own that were beautiful were not mine to give away. My mother, Gordo, Rico, Tanner, and Chris. That quote captures the entire heart of this story to me. Ox spends so much of his life believing he's not enough because of what his father told him, and yet he's surrounded by love the entire time, even when he can't see it yet. Then I also have one that destroyed me. Joe says, "That's how you've always been to me, bigger than anything else. When I see you, Ox, all I see is you." My TJ looked me in the eyes and said, "Cry." And I was like, on demand, bitch, I will. Also, Joe says, "I would always choose you. I don't care if it's biological imperative. I don't care if it's destiny. I don't care if you were made specially for me. It doesn't matter, because I would choose you regardless." Oh, Joe also says to Ox, can you tell that Joe is one of my favorite characters? Joe says, "You're all-encompassing. You dwarf everything else. When I see you, Ox, all I see is you." My shameless! They deserve everything. And my final one, the one that really means everything to me, and I want it tattooed on my brain. Tattoo it, please. It was candy canes and pine cones. It was epic and awesome, and it was home.
And then he calls him his little tornado.
When we were talking about this book, I said, I'm going to do a tattoo, and it's a tornado, and then it's little. Then you were like, what? That makes no sense. And I'm like, just read this book, and then we'll talk.
That was the best.
My little tornado.
That was the first time they were meeting, and all of a sudden he had a kid climbing on him, and he going, "Why do you smell like epic and awesome and pine cones and like, this and that?" And Ox was just like,
cool. Joe was like, "We need to go meet my parents, because my parents are going to know why you smell like this. It's like candy canes and pine cones and epic and awesome." And
that's so cute.
When Joe comes back, I have thoughts, okay, but when he comes back and they have the whole conversation again that they had the first time they met, I was like, my lip was like, I can't do this anymore. You guys are killing me. I think everyone knows my answer to this, but I need to know yours. Is it box wine energy or Vineyard Elite?
This one was Vineyard Elite for me. Looks are deceiving. I think it looks like a standard werewolf story, but it's poetic, it's devastating, and it's way deeper than it has any right to be. For me, this was like Vineyard Elite. We didn't have to read the other books because we were only going to do this book. I went on and read the other 3 books, and I loved them.
They are everything. All characters are great. I can't pick one of my... Wait.
Joe and Ox.
I have a favorite, but it's like there, you know, like I can't really put one above the other because I'm like, I love them all. And I think this book, especially this one, needs to be talked about more. But anyway, it's obviously Vineyard Elite for me.
I didn't even need to ask you.
No, it's literally like, I read in January and I was like, my favorite book of the year. Thank you so much. Maybe of the century. Who knows? We'll see. I think this book is like that bottle you save for like a special occasion. You think about weeks later because it lingers with you emotionally.
This book is totally slept on. I don't see it on platforms being spoken about. It's such an amazing series. And you want to know the craziest thing is there's not even like spice in the book. Like there's like maybe one chapter and it's like half the chapter or like a bit of a chapter, but that's the whole point. Like the book doesn't need it to be amazing. It's just an amazing book.
Yeah, it's not very smutty. Not at all smutty. It still hits home. I still feel like I was connected to the characters. I didn't need to know all of those details, even though they showed a bit, but it wasn't like the main thing of the book.
I got more entranced by the stone wolves. When they decide who wants to be their mate, like they give them a stone wolf that it was hand carved by their alpha. That's my love language. You know, I love giving. Sometimes I'll come home from because I go for walks around here, and if I see like a fancy rock, I'll just pick it up and I'll bring it home and I'll be like, look, I got you, rock. And then we add it to my rock collection. So I have a question for you. Who annoyed you more?
Now listen, I'll be surprised. Who am I going to say?
Are they all men?
Of course they're all men. There are 3. 3 men. First and foremost, I think you missed me. Because listen, I haven't talked about a bad parent for a while now. 2 episodes, I have not said a thing.
We made it through.
Then came Ox's dad. Then you walked in and I was like, oh, I'm going to talk shit about you non-stop. And also, John, this is for you. Sit down. Sit down. John, I'm talking to you now. Come here. I have stuff.
We're kids. Leave us alone.
Oh, no. I'm just starting. John's of this world. Please sit down. You're going to enjoy this part. It's going to ruffle your feathers. You're going to love it. Of course he's a man. Of course he's a parent. A shitty parent at that. He made me genuinely like mad because you could tell like that everything that Ox's dad ever said to him was crap, and Ox is just like a sponge, you know, like, and it stayed with him. Ox kept feeling like he was never enough. The constant, you're gonna get shit all your life. Like, it was constantly on his head. Like, his inner monologue, he was constantly saying that, I'm gonna get shit, I'm gonna get shit. Because that's what his dad made him feel like he was not good enough. He was never good enough. He was not smart enough. He was not, like, whatever enough. He was just not. And at one point, Ox said, he's in a monologue, he said, I wondered if this is what it felt like to have a father who loved you enough to stay despite all your faults. I've said this before. I think everyone can say it with me at this point. As a parent, you shouldn't just stay because of it doesn't matter what your kid is going to turn out as, or like what faults they have, or what things that you dislike, or because of course you're going to dislike some things. You're going to, you know, I love Mariana, but there's some things that she does that I'm like, you're insane. But I still love her. I'm never going to leave her because she's my best friend, and I'm not going to leave her. You know, that should be the exact same thing for your kids. Like, no matter what, you should stay. It's not like despite of your faults. It doesn't matter. You put them in this world, your responsibility. You don't leave. Now, Richard and Osmond, how many motherfucking days? I know they're dead. Spoiler alert. They are dead. I want to go back in time. Oh, wait. Actually, I want to go into this book, then go back in time, kill them myself. That's all I'm going to do. Just kill them. Here's the thing I have a problem with Richard. Like, someone else hurt your family, and then you went on a rant. Like, you went insane, and you blamed everyone else. What the hell is your problem? And Osmond, don't even get me started on Osmond. I don't understand you, mate. Like, I genuinely don't understand what went through your head. No one did nothing to you, and you're still like, I hate humans. Alright, get the fuck away from me. Anyway, what about you?
It's the exact same 3 as you. So I mentioned Ox's dad. I don't think they even give us a name for his character.
About that. I think it's disrespectful that we keep calling him Ox's dad.
Yeah, but I don't think they give him a name. He's so fleeting that they don't even give him a name for his character, which, fair. Does he deserve a name?
No.
Maybe Shithead? Hands down, that was right at the beginning of the book. I was confused. I was like, where are you going? Why do you have a suitcase? And then he was like, when are you coming back, Dad? And he's just like, you don't get it. You're going to get shit for the rest of your life. And I just imagine him like slurring his words and being a dickhead. I honestly thought he was going to make a reappearance in the book and see Ox all like powerful. But he never did. And I was like, oh, maybe I hope he died.
What do you mean I hope he died? He died. They literally say that. This is
oh yeah, in the car accident.
Which is even worse because he got in the car while drunk.
Are we surprised?
Not a bit.
And then I also have Richard Collins and Osmond. Richard Collins isn't just annoying, he's genuinely horrifying. The way he tortured Joe as a child. He wanted a weapon to lure Thomas so that he could steal the alpha power. Throughout the time that he had Joe, he stripped Joe of his voice, his agency, his identity. He didn't know who he was. For what, a power trip? Ego that needs to dominate to become the alpha? Like, seriously, is it? Thomas at this point, he was the alpha of all, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think he betrayed him. The whole reason this happened, like the betrayal between Richard and Thomas happened, was because Thomas left the compound, right?
Yeah, but he didn't do it on purpose. They were just like out for the day, and then that happened, the whole thing with the hunters and stuff.
Yeah, so Thomas left the compound with his family. The compound was attacked by hunters, and all of Richard's family died. Naturally, he wanted revenge, as an evil person would, and he took Joe. From there, he tortured Joe. Was it for 2 weeks?
Richard wanted revenge of the hunters, but Thomas was like, well, you know, we already took revenge of the ones that came here. We don't need to get revenge of all hunters. So Richard left the pack, and then years after, he goes after Joe. And I think it was 2 weeks that it took them to find Joe.
And in those 2 weeks, there was so much damage done to Joe. I can't imagine what he went through because he said he broke his fingers every day and I don't know what else he did to torture him.
They would call, like, his mother, and, like, they would break his fingers and stuff so that
they could hear him scream.
As a mom, I can't even imagine that. I genuinely can't.
That's absolutely terrifying. I think it defines early on his relationship with Ox. It affects how he communicates, how he loves, and how he protects, because he knows what it's like to be. He wants to just protect Ox at all costs. I think that Richard, he poisoned everything around him, including the family. In the later books, his brother, Carter, blames himself for losing Joe.
Richard and Gordo's father is the reason why they leave.
Yeah, as well.
Also the reason why Gordo is left behind.
And then we have Osmond. This felt like a different kind of betrayal because Osmond was Pack. He was trusted and he chose to betray them anyways. His actions, cover your ears, his actions led to the deaths of Thomas and Maggie, who were literally the heart of everything. Thomas, especially, like, with his warmth and quiet, he was basically like the emotional anchor to the pack, the white wolf, you know, the alpha.
Yeah.
Losing him wasn't just losing a leader, it was losing, like, safety, stability, and love. Because he showed that every day, and he shows that throughout the books. So, Richard, he enraged me, but, like, Osmond, I think Osmond hurt more because he was part of the pack. So it was, like, a different kind of betrayal. So, who did you relate to?
Definitely my baby Ox. I think it's the feeling of never feeling worthy of good things, of expecting people to leave or disappoint you. I think a lot of people can relate to that. But what I love about Ox is that despite everything, he keeps his heart open. He still chooses love at every turn. Like, he still sees the best of everyone, and he tries to, like, protect everyone. And I think he's just beautiful. He's just a huge teddy bear. I love him. What about you?
Ox, he gives off this vibe of, like, I don't think I'm enough, but I'll love you anyway. It's painfully relatable. So watching him grow into his strength while still doubting himself felt very real, as many people feel, even in their day-to-day lives, in work, in what they're doing, felt a bit like imposter syndrome.
Honorable mentions, Maggie. Honorable mention to her. She's a great mom. One of my favorite moments is when she tells Ox, you're going to make someone very happy someday. Not a girl, not a wife, just someone. I love that so much. People are so quick to put kids into boxes. Like if you're a boy, they're like, oh, he's gonna be a ladies' man, or
Yeah.
a girl, like you're gonna break every guy's heart. Like why? You don't know. And then I have Chris, Tanner, and Rico. Are you kidding me? They are the highlight of this book. They are hilarious. They bring so much warmth and comic relief when things get heavy, and boy, do they get heavy. I also have, okay, I love Robbie, but this part was like, black meat kettle. When he first meets Jessie, he's like, I don't like her. She smells of like, wanting to,
Arousal.
Yeah, and then 2 business days later, Robbie kisses Ox, and I'm like, Robbie, my darling, where's the logic? Logic nowhere to be. Me looking for the logic here. My love. Robbie's like, first meets Jessie, and I was like, he's like to Ox. He turns to Ox and he's like, you made it to the Alpha. You behave, sir. And then turns around and kisses Ox. I'm like, Robbie, where's the logic? Where is it?
Yeah.
And then I love him. He's like, yeah, but Joe isn't here. Oh, okay. Well, I'm still going to love you, and I'm still going to defend you until the day I die. But that made no sense, my love, my darling.
Diabolical.
Anyway, what about you? Do you have any honorable mentions?
So I have Maggie because she was just the strongest character in front of her son, just to give him a chance to get away. She knew she was going to die, and he saw it in her eyes, and she just pushed herself into the knife, and boom, he ran, and he managed to get the pack's attention and all of that. But that was like a heartbreaking scene for me. I was like, no, because she was literally like the best mom. She took being a part of the pack so well. The connection she had with Elizabeth, who's Joe's mom as well, was so special, and I was just like, what?
It was really sad when she died.
And I also put Gordo and his people. He's grumpy, he's loyal, he's like unhinged, but he would absolutely burn the world for his people. And that's what I'm talking about, like Chris, Tanner, Rico, all of them.
Mind you, Gordo is mad at Mark the entirety of this book. He's still pissed off at Mark for leaving.
In hindsight, Gordo is the witch of the Bennett pack.
Every time they are in a fight, you can find Mark and Gordo next to each other. Every time, like, there's something happening, they're like...
foreshadowing for the next book.
And even in the end, when Ox and everyone is, like, at the clearing, right? Ox just turned into a wolf and then back to a human. And they're all there and everything. And Gordo, like, when he comes to them and he kisses Ox and everything, he sits next to Mark and their pinkies are like this. And I'm like, Gordo...
I love Gordo.
Be so fucking for real, Gordo. You're still in love with Marg.
We also have to mention how amazing Elizabeth is, because she accepts literally everyone as her own son. She does not care. Son, daughter, whoever they are, she brings them in and she says, you are part of us. And it's just like, she's so resilient. Everything she's been through. Ugh. I love her.
Yeah.
Would you want this relationship in real life?
Hell yes! It's candy canes and pine cones. It's epic and awesome. Of course. What I love most about this, about being mates in this world, is that it's still a choice. It's not destiny forcing 2 people together. They actively choose each other every day, over and over again. And when Joe leaves, and trust me, I was pissed. I still love them together. I'm still rooting for you guys.
They did amazing.
Yeah.
With this.
Right. What about you?
Yeah. You know, I'm not even going to pretend otherwise.
Oh my God, you scared me for a moment. I was like, what do you mean?
No. Yeah. Like, it's just, what they have with the Bennett pack and what it represents. It's like the all-consuming ride or die kind of relationship. I know myself well enough to admit I would absolutely match that energy. Mm-hmm. If you're my person, if you're my family, I'm in it completely, no hesitation, always.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would protect the people I love to a fault, and I mean to a fault. The kind where, like logic leaves the building and suddenly it's just like, who do I need to fight? Who hurt you? And that instinct to stand between your people and anything that could hurt them, like that's real. Would it be healthy in real life 100% of the time? Probably not, but that's not what I'm going for.
Was the drama justified for you?
Yeah, I think it made the book what it was. It made the found families, even the tragic deaths, everything. It brought everyone together. Every like painful reunion that they had to go through, everything that they went through, it made sense within the world. Did I like it? No, because I just wanted everyone to be happy. Did it emotionally destroy me? Yes. And do I still think about the book? Yes.
And you will be thinking about it, I'm telling you.
Forever. What about you? Was the drama justified?
Hell yeah. 100%. This book is about grief, family, trauma, loyalty, and love. And all of the drama grows naturally from that. TJ captures grief in such a painful, accurate way. That moment where you wake up and for half a second, everything feels normal before reality crashes back down on you again. Anyone that has lost something or someone, a friendship, a breakup, like a family member, whoever, understands this feeling to their bones. When Ox is going through Joe leaving and losing his mom, and he's like, I woke up and like for a moment my mom is waiting for me this, and Carter and Kelly's doing that, and I'm gonna meet Joe later on and everything, and he's like, for like half a second you can imagine like that person being there or those people being there, and it's just so realistic. So is it a red flag or a book boyfriend for you?
I'm claiming both.
Both?
I'm claiming both as book boyfriends, Joe and Ox.
You scared the shit out of me. I thought you meant red flag.
No. Ox is the ultimate soft, emotional, devastating book boyfriend. He's loyal to the core and would carry the weight of the world for the people he loves and never asks for anything in return, like not at one point. He's the kind of person who stays even when it hurts, like when Joe leaves, even when he thinks he's not enough. That quiet devotion that he shows, yeah, that's dangerous in its own kind of way because it makes you feel very safe. And then you have Joe. For me, he's teetering more towards dark romance. Slightly unhinged. He's intense, he's possessive, he's deeply emotional and shaped by trauma in a way that makes everything he feels come at like full volume to him because he was suppressing his feelings for so long. So yeah, Ox is comfort and Joe is chaos, and I want both.
Honestly, agree. Ox is comfort and Joe is chaos. I love it. They're both book boyfriends. I will not be taking any slander on them. And yes, Joe leaves. I have a couple of things to say about that. Okay, I hate that he does that. I hate that he made the choice for Ox instead of with Ox. Because for me, they are best friends from the start. This starts, okay, Joe knows that he's his mate and stuff, and he wants Ox as his mate. But they start, basically, their foundation is friends. Joe even says that as much, like when Ox, which by the way is one of my memorable moments, is like when Ox sees Joe for the first time, and he like literally walks
into a wall.
Everything to me, but I'll get into that. Even when they like, yes, I want you to be my mate, and like to figure everything out, Joe is like, if you decide right here, right now, you don't want me as your mate, that's okay, because the most important thing for me is your friendship. So if you decide not to be my mate, that's okay. I am here, and I'll be whatever you want me to be, even if it's just your friend, because we started as friends, and this is what I want you to be, my friend, first and foremost. And I'm like, yes, okay, Joe, but then you turn around and leave him without even consulting him first? Disrespectful, rude. I hate that for you. I hate that for Ox. Because this is what I'm saying, like, they are friends first. And if you can count on your friends, then who are you gonna count? He told it to everyone, and not a single person was like, Ox, let's talk. Joey's planning on leaving. No one's gonna tell him. I was pissed at everyone at that point. I was like, I'm pissed at you, I'm pissed at you, I'm pissed at you, I'm pissed at you, Gordo. I'm pissed at you the most because you're pissed off at Mark for leaving, and you're doing the...
And then you leave.
You're leaving Ox behind, and bear in mind, Ox is his tether. Ox even refers to Gordo as like kind of his father because he raised him.
Yeah.
And you leave him?
The audacity.
My eye was twitching. I was like, this is not it. Not okay, Gordo. But then I went on a tangent here. This is not at all what I wanted to say. But anyway, when Joe leaves, he leaves the stone wolf in Ox's hand as like a promise, I'll be back. Anyway, do you have any moments that made you laugh, cry, or like scream at the book?
The pack banter, like between everybody. It was like an actual found family chaos. And I loved it. And I love the tradition of the Sunday meals. It just felt like home. It felt like I loved it. And then you get the emotional whiplash. Like 1 second I'm smiling, the next I'm like, why am I crying over wolves again? Why is this happening? What about you?
Well, we already said this, but every time that Ox said "my little tornado," tears, actual tears in my eyes. Their first date, and then they run into all their exes. At one point, Jesse goes like, "You know what they say about a man with big hands, Jesse? Jesse, you have no business being this funny. Get out. Walk away." And also, when Gordo tells Ox he's a witch for the first time, he's like, "I'm a witch," and Ox goes like, "You're a wizard, Harry." And I'm like, okay, Ox.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Ox. The scene that absolutely destroyed me, and I literally had to okay, so this is me reading, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna touch some grass now. Was when Ox says, "Thank you for choosing me while he's dying. I need 5.5 business days to recover from this. Like, excuse me while I go lie on the floor." And do you know what's funny is that I say that to my kid every night. I go to my kid, I'm like, "Thank you for choosing me to be your mom." And I said this earlier when Ox sees Joe for the first time in the little shorts and everything, and he's like, "Oh."
Ogling.
He's like, "Oh, Joe is a man. Joe is hot." And I'm like, "Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is." And then he walks into a wall, like literally smacks into a wall. And then he's like, "I actually need to go home. I need something."
Because he couldn't stop his heart racing and they could hear it.
And Joey's like, "What are you going to do home?" And he's like, "Don't you mind your pretty little head. I'm just gonna go." And then the conversation with Carter, and Carter's like, "Oh, when Joe finds this out, he's gonna latch on." When Joe goes to talk to Maggie, he has a little card and he's like, "Maggie, these files are for you." And he's like, "Thank you, this is what we said 5 minutes ago, and then you said we needed to wait for Ox." And he's like, rightly so. Yes, okay.
That's adorable. That was so cute.
With his little bow tie, I can't. Now, directioners all over the world are going to understand what I'm going to say next. When Joe is back from God knows where, he comes back on a Wednesday. A goddamn Wednesday. I was like, of course it's a fucking Wednesday. Everything happens on a Wednesday. Directioners will understand me when I say this, okay? Everything fucking happens on a Wednesday. Liam, a Wednesday. They break up, a Wednesday. Anyway, controversial takes. Do you have any?
I think for me it was just like the pacing of emotional trauma. It was aggressive. I needed at least one extra chapter of peace before getting emotionally body slammed again. They're happy. Oh shit, this is happening. They're happy. Oh my god, something else is happening. They're happy. Something else is happening. So I just kept feeling like, when are they just gonna be happy?
I want them to be happy. I just want them happy, please.
I also think Ox deserved more apologies.
Boy,
I will not elaborate on that.
Ox deserves a fucking moose. I don't even know. A statue in his name. I don't know. He needs something. Okay, I have plenty. Because I have Ox going after Richard alone. "Sir, you have a pack for a reason. Tell your goddamn pack what you mean."
Make it make sense.
I can't. Then I have Joe. Joe, I don't understand you leaving. I don't get it. I don't understand. I just don't get, okay. He says he's doing that to protect Ox. But I'm like, but you leaving him alone. Bear in mind, Omegas go to Green Creek because you are gone. Because you're gone, now he has other dangers coming for him. I don't understand. I don't get the logic. The logic is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
The logic is out of the building. The logic has left. No, actually, the logic was never there to begin with.
I don't think there was any logic at all.
It wasn't there. It just wasn't there. There wasn't even an L, okay? Let alone logic. There wasn't there. I've said this, okay? I love Ox. Ox is perfect. But also, my love, I already know your daddy said you're gonna get shit all your life. I got it the first 500 times. You don't need to keep saying it.
And they say it through all the books.
Yeah, every time they said it, I was like, oh my god, how many times are you going to say this to me? Go to therapy.
I think he just needed a couple sessions of therapy and
move on. my love, I understand it. Boy, do I understand bad parenting. I do, honestly. But do you know how I dealt with it? Therapy. I went to therapy and I cried a lot. Let me just get into my memorable moment. One moment that really stayed with me is when Ox says, and he says this in his inner monologue, he says, I wasn't looking for the incredible buried in the ordinary. And I think we should all look for the extraordinary in the ordinary. This is funny because I read this and we had a conversation. Me and you, we had a conversation because it was raining here and it was raining there. And I said, oh, it's like we're in the same place. And then I said something along the lines of like, oh, look at me and romanticizing everything. And you said that that's one of the things that you love most about me is that I always romanticize everything. And I was like, well, either that or a very great way to deal with trauma. But I digress. I always try to find something special in the most like ordinary things. And I think that we all should do that because life is hard as it is. And if we find like not the silver lining, but the beauty in the small things, the feeling behind moments, the little things that make life meaningful. If you do that, like it makes life a little bit easier than just like looking at like the bad side of things every time, you know? And I think that's why this book hit me so hard. It's exactly what Wolfsong feels like, you know? It's just like underneath all the werewolves and magic and chaos, it's just really about like ordinary people loving each other in extraordinary ways. And I love that. And I love Ox. He deserves the world. Truly.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Do you have any memorable moments?
All of the memorable moments were the reunions. Every single one, especially when you realize how much...
Get back?
All the reunions, when Mark first sees Gordo, even like when you were saying they were holding pinkies and stuff, those small things, the small bits.
Yeah, okay.
If you pay close attention, you can pick up on what the next books are going to be about. Robbie all of a sudden protecting, being a shadow to Kelly.
When Robbie is like protecting Ox, and then Ox is like, Joe is my mate. Joe is who I want to be with. And he's like, oh, okay, Kelly's kind of attractive, isn't he? He's kind of hot. And I was like, a man of my own heart.
He's flip-flopping everywhere.
Yeah.
I put a quote here. He said, I hate you, he whispered, and I nodded because I knew he did for this one thing. And then he went, you would do the same for me, and I hate that. I hate that too. He said, you fucking bastard, how dare you die in front of me? And then he said, I would do it again if it meant kept keeping you safe. And I was just like...
That's their love. They will do anything for each other.
But it's funny because they hate each other for it, because they know they would die to save the other one. That's the story.
That's the story.
Would you re-drink this or reread?
Girlie, I already reread it. I've already reread it. Reread it. You know, like, but with water. I need several bottles of water next to me because I will be crying. What about you?
I said reread it, but like, I don't know if I would need wine or water like you're saying, because like I'd need to stay hydrated, but also I don't want, like, I would just want to be like kind of like fuzzy present there. Do you think this was main character vibes or delusional?
Main character. They're all dramatic and insane and deeply emotional, and I loved every second of it. What about you?
Main character vibes, and I think I'm talking more about Ox here, because it's like the I don't even realize I'm the backbone of everything kind of way. I think Ox is like the emotional center for everybody, even when he doesn't see it. Main character vibes all the way. Would you recommend it to your grandma?
Absolutely. And honestly, I would love to hear her thoughts on that epilogue scene. Oh, I do have one more thing to say. Ox's dad says to him that men don't cry a lot. And Ox says this throughout the book, that he couldn't be a man because he cries. And I know I talk a lot of shit about men constantly. And honestly, you guys deserve it. But what I have to say is that it's not like about specific men. It's about the patriarchy, okay? This is what I have an issue with. But if there's any men listening, if you are listening, and if you feel this way that like you can't be a real man if you cry, that's ridiculous. Like, you can still have feelings and be a real man. And if you have feelings and you show them, that's what makes you a real man, because it makes you human. So you're allowed to express emotion. You're allowed to feel whatever you feel in. You're allowed to tell us how you feel, okay? So the idea of you're not a man if you cry is insane and ridiculous. And again, it's part of the patriarchy, which I have an issue with. So whenever I talk shit about men, don't take it personally. Also, if you take it personally, then I do have an issue with you. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about men today. Would you recommend it to your grandma?
Only if my grandmother is ready for emotional devastation and supernatural violence. So absolutely. She's the most open-minded, unhinged girly that I've ever met. But I would also recommend it to literally everyone else because this book is severely underhyped.
All right, that's enough opinions for one episode.
But I have so much more.
We've read.
We've discussed.
But did we fully understand it?
That's still up for debate.
Follow us on everything at Reading Between Wines for more book chaos and questionable takes. I'm Cece.
And I'm Mariana. We'll see you next Friday with another book.
Another bottle.
And definitely more opinions you didn't ask for.
But need it.
And remember,
drink responsibly.
Actually critique irresponsibly.
Bye. Happy Pride.
So I knew it was with, like, two rivals, you know, enemies to lovers. Who doesn't love that? But I didn't really feel the enemies to lovers bit. I felt just the lovers bit. From Scarlett's perspective, I got, like, I could stab her, I could kiss her, maybe both. Honestly, that's just efficiency, so we could look at it that way.
We could. It would be wrong, but we could.
Well.